Welcome to episode 2 of the Hearns Hobbies Team Yokomo RS1.0 build.
And I'm really impressed with this so far.
I'm Brett.
And I'm BJ.
And you're BJ. Welcome to the episode. Let's get going. Let's have an overview. Let's see where we were, Beej.
This is where we're at.
Where?
Right here.
That's a whole lot for one episode.
It is, isn't it?
That is a lot of race car.
Looking at this, it feels like 2 episodes. Because each episode's about an hour, right? But this is done so quickly. It's fallen together, hasn't it?
It was a really good build. Really, really nice. And even like taking a little bit of a look over after we switch the cameras off, it's actually really nice and fallen together really nicely.
It has.
It's got a really air of quality. The injection moulding is fantastic. The fundamental engineering behind it is really good.
Like a lot of the components, or the pro components as well. Good quality drive shafts and quality of materials.
It's pro engineering and pro quality. So
tolerances are really good.
Yeah. And the steering rack, everywhere. The suspension arms. All right, let's get stuck into it. Where do we get up to?
All right, so let's see what step we're at. Let's put that over there.
I've got a feeling we're up to the bouncy bits.
I think we are up to the shocks, aren't we?
That's all right.
All right, so we've done all that.
Every time I get the shocks out,
mounted all that. All right,
usually,
shock time.
usually walk through the curtains with a box of donuts for me.
Bag 10.
Not happening today.
That's not going to happen today, no.
Bag
10 it is. That's got all the shock components in it. Oh, yeah, that's it. So chop, chop. Okay, so the difference being is these are all plastic component shocks.
But there's nothing wrong with plastic shocks.
No, not at all.
Especially when they're made well.
That's right.
What springs have we got? I bet we've got typical Team Yokomo springs. Same rates front and rear, which is nice. I always like my touring cars to have a fairly symmetrical setup. If you're using vastly different springs front and rear, it's more fundamental that there's something else wrong with your setup.
Look at the way all these are molded. They're all pre-threaded. I mean, these are not easy molds to make.
Not with a thread that fine.
No.
That's a fine thread.
Replicating the aluminium type ones, and I mean these are resin type plastic, so they've got a bit of give to them. So they're quite resilient. So they'll be similar to what we experienced with the RO, I'd say.
I'm resilient, just not emotionally. Emotionally, I'm not very resilient.
Really? All right.
Well,
what are the shafts? How about I
like
start
to cry
putting together the
I like to cry in the shower so nobody
pistons.
sees me.
Where are the pistons? Are they in here?
Where do you want to start?
Pistons and shafts. I'll do the pistons and shafts while you're cutting all those bits out. I'll do the pistons over here. Oh, yeah, if you can cut the pistons out for me, that'd be
Pistons off the
fantastic.
parts tree. Same
Let's
front
put that
and rear.
there so you can still sort of see what's happening.
Wait, you're going to do the E-clips?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good at doing E-clips.
It is my least favourite thing to do on camera.
Is it because you're losing most of them?
No, I haven't lost one yet, but it's just the anxiety builds.
Anxiety.
And it's real. It's a real problem.
Well, I've got some 3mm screws here. They'll be for mounting up the shocks. Look at our shafts. We've got some 3mm lock nuts, which will be for later. Thank you.
Just double check the burridge. That's the technical name. The burridge on the
I probably just want to trim those because you don't want those digging into the plastic cylinders. Let me get my special. I get my special eyes.
You bought your eyes today.
Got them eyes.
Your 9 steps Optrix 5. Is
That's
that because it's 5 times magnification? What's the 5?
Because there's 5 lenses.
5 lenses. That's right. Up to 3.5 times magnification. Is that right?
Up to what?
3.5 times magnification?
Yeah, could be. Yes, that's correct.
Have you got the headlights on?
I haven't got the headlights on because I don't have any batteries.
You have to promise me that you take them to the next race meeting.
These ones? Really?
Yeah.
I'll be bumping into things as I'm walking around with them.
That's all right.
Is that all right?
How good would it be though? How far could you see the little car away? Be high definition, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, the depth of field's in that distance.
Oh, he's gone quiet.
Have you got
craft here.
sanding blocks here?
9-step sanding sticks.
Because I'd
Is
like
that what you're referring to?
Yes. Because
You've
I'd
asked the
like
right
to
person.
just
Nan!
because
Nan!
they're molded right on the edges.
Nan, where's the sanding sticks?
I'd like to just give them a quick buff with a really fine one.
She just finished doing the mani-pedi, so
There you go.
she's got her
So
9
those are
steps.
1200.
Do you know how good they are?
Well, let's just sort of buff these so they gloss up a bit. And just get that burr out of there.
Oh,
Just putting
these
my fingernail across there. To feel
bladder or
if there's any burr.
diaphragm.
Feels pretty good actually.
Oh, I'm loving these damper units. Let me get right in and see what you're on about. Show the folks at home.
Where are we?
There you are.
So that's what I've buffed up at the moment.
Oh, look at that. As
So just to get the burr off the edge, so it's nice and smooth.
and that's just going to aid the longevity of the damper unit. Because
Compared to, oh okay, you've got one that's just been trimmed.
Well, I'm trying to. I can't actually see the burr on it. There's more burr on my own fingers in the shop.
Here's one.
Got one?
Oh, where's the focus?
There it is.
So you can just, the burr's just there. You can just see it maybe.
And it's these little 1%ers that are going to make this thing awesome. I can see it, little nib. There we go.
What'd you call it?
A nib.
Wow.
Just a little bit of nib.
So just carefully trim it off first with sharp blade.
Now I know we'll be using all these parts, so I'm just cutting them all off the parts trees, okay?
Yeah, it makes it easier. Okay, so that's after I've just trimmed it off. The knife. Just getting in here with...
Have we told people that we're going to put a silver can 540 in this yet or not yet?
I can't remember, but
why
not tell everyone again?
Yep. Silver can 540, 27 turns of fury.
Fury.
Which is being quite sarcastic because they're quite a modest power unit.
Yep. So we're going to pop that.
Doesn't mean you can't have fun.
No, absolutely.
And people my age, or even older, started racing with those. That was the entry-level class. So given that it's an entry-level racer, winding back the clock a bit in that regard.
That's right. I mean, it's such a cost-effective motor, isn't it?
And we'll couple that with the 9-step speed controller.
Yes.
The NSR 001. And the 9-step stick lipo, the 4200. We will power it up with some Dean's plugs, not your conventional Tamiya one. And we're going to send the dog.
It's going to go, oh, I think it's going to go pretty well. Considering we've already tried, you've already tried the same thing in the RO, right?
In the Rookie Off-Road.
Yep.
And it was a complete success. So we're going to see if it translates to on-road.
So there's no doubt it was lacking a little bit of power, right?
Well, I wouldn't say lacking. Lacking against the 21.5, but not lacking as far as assembling
as a combination.
Getting it on track and having fun. Yeah. There's no way it was lacking.
That's right.
Even for, you know, somewhat experienced or old person like me, it's still fun.
You old.
And probably in another 10 or 20 years, that's where my skill level will digress to. Where that's the 540 is the maximum.
All right, so there we go. So I've trimmed and quickly sanded the burrs off. I haven't gone all the way around. You can go all the way around if you like. There is a light mold line, but I'm not going to worry about it with these. Let's start putting on some of the E-clips. Have you got your favorite pliers over there? Little pointy nose ones?
Yes.
So I've just got the E-clip and just put in the slot there.
I do love those pliers.
Let me see, hang on.
Where are you going?
I've got a feeling they're a bit out of focus. How's that?
Depends on what.
There we go.
Oh, look at this. Got a 450 weight.
450, so that comes with it.
Oh, I've got some rubber grease. Hey, while you're doing that, can I assemble the cartridge and the O-rings?
Yeah. Where are the O-rings? We've got them over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And for that, I'm going...
Okay, got that.
Where's my gizmo gone?
Gizmo was there.
Tony Gray's probably put it in his pocket, I'd say. He loves our gizmos.
Does he?
Yeah. I know what to get him for Christmas.
It's easy, isn't it? All right, so there we go. Just popping those on.
So here I've got my tub of XTR blue grease, O-ring and rubber grease. And I've got the shock O-rings. Really nice to see conventional O-rings. The modern trend these days is to have a X-ring. But
the X-rings have got, it's almost like a...
They've got two sealing faces.
That's right.
And they do offer less resistance, but I do think that the O-rings are more reliable. And they would have done that for exactly this reason. They do less swelling, less critical.
Right, so I just click, whoop. So the trick is,
And if you ever wanted to upgrade this car, you could just bolt the BD12 shock straight on.
well, you could if you wanted to, for sure.
Now it's a single O-ring cartridge.
Yes.
And notice how I'm using the gizmo. That's because I don't want to dare put the hobby knife or anything sharp or machined near the O-ring if I can help it.
Yep.
So I've coated it in grease, put it into the shock body, and then behind that goes the shock shaft guide.
Yep.
And that's a stepped thing. And
That's a very standard design for short shocks now, isn't it?
yeah, in touring car, we use one O-ring and one shock guide. Gonna go ahead and put that there. Now there's no O-ring seals under the cartridge cap.
Seal.
This one here. Now the trick here is to actually wind it back a little bit to line up the threads because they're so fine. Hear it click? So that clicked then, so I know that's lined up. And
It helps align it, doesn't it?
So usually I'll wind it in to seat it, and then I'll unwind it completely to make sure that there's no preload or tension on that O-ring, because we're about to pass a thread through it.
Pass the thread. Looks like we've got an extra E-clip here, because E-clips are notorious for running away, aren't they?
Getting flung across the room.
Oh, actually, there isn't a spare.
At a great rate of knots.
No, in that case, you've got to be really careful you don't lose any of these.
That's BJ's, just demonstrating.
Ka-doing. No, it'll be fine. Oh, hang on. Is there a direction for these pistons? One side's got a mark on it. It doesn't really say. It shouldn't make any difference. I'll make sure they all point the same direction just so we've got some sort of...
Continuity.
That's it. So I've got the smooth side facing up because that looks prettier.
One of our team drivers in WA actually assembled his last night. And he said
He loves it, eh?
He said it was an absolute joy. He's racing it tonight.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
Oh.
Under lights.
I thought we were in a rush.
No, he built it in built it up in VTA.
Right.
Vintage Trans Am? Yeah, Trans American.
Trans Am class, yes. And they have to use the particular
60s, is it? 70s?
tyres. What motors do they run in them?
21.5
Right.
tone brushless.
Okay, so
sensors, I
there's
believe.
all of our...
People overseas
shafts
probably
and
wonder what
pistons
the heck
done.
we're talking about. It's quite unique probably to Australia.
They're done.
Cartridge in.
All right, what can I move on to? So while you're doing that, how
Right,
about
we're
I'll
done.
start...
Let's bleed it.
What do you mean?
Let's go.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now what I'm going
Because
to
I
do
was going
here,
to put these on the shock towers.
we can zoom right up here if you want.
I'm going to get tighter.
Just going to put a really thin layer of grease onto the thread.
Onto the thread, right? So there's less chances of damaging...
Tearing the O-ring. Now, given the fact that I have pre-greased the O-ring and the cartridge, or where the O-ring sits, shouldn't pose a problem. Don't make too
Have I
much.
got too much? Can't see. Maybe I don't need these anymore.
No, but they look funny. I think it should be a prerequisite.
Should it? All right, we don't want too much of this stuff on, do we?
I wear a flat cap, you wear optics. So just go ahead and slide that through. I'll pull it all the way down to the bottom, and then at that point, I will do up the cartridge. And I'm not going to use any tools here, I'm just going to...
So I'm just slowly popping that through.
And I'm just going to do it by feel, preloading the cartridge, because you want it to be firm, because we're actually squishing the O-ring a little bit, but you don't want to over-tighten it and cause excess drag on the piston.
So are you tightening these up yet?
Yes. Have you got...
I need a raggage.
Here you go.
Thank
That's
you.
Nan's favourite.
All right. Okay.
So which one
let's
did I
pull this-
do?
Let's pull this out of zoom now. So what are we doing? So this one you've tightened up.
Yeah.
Cartridge, and it's nice and smooth. Oh wow, it's smooth.
How smooth is it?
Beautiful.
And to have a look at the clearance, the blow-by, it's very minimal. And that's good because it's going to mean that the shock shaft's going to last, the shock seal, sorry, is going to last a while. When it's all wobbling about.
Yeah,
Pass
cool.
that through.
Let's stick this down here.
And the grease is, so what the grease is doing is actually protecting the O-ring, the silicon O-ring,
Yep.
against the silicon oil. Because what that does when it comes into contact,
It swell, right?
it swells. And it's something that happens and naturally occurs, but the swelling causes friction. So you want to seal against You want to keep the oil inside, keep all the debris out, but you also don't want it to be bound, and so you want them to feel, all 4 of them, the same as each other.
Cool. Well, I'm going to start putting the screws onto the shock towers here.
Screws on shock towers. What about we bleed some oil?
Oh, you want to do it together?
Oh, okay. All right. I need a shock stand. Have you got the clear shock stand? Do these just have these ball cups on the bottom? And do we have a length that we're going off?
So we've got here in the manual
another
an 11 mil.
This is a critical tool. A soft jaw aluminium shock plier. I call it a shock plier, but it's also a multi-tool.
So basically you want 11 mil between the bottom of the ball end and the bottom of the shock cylinder.
And the reason that we use a soft jaw plier is so we don't gouge or scratch the shock shaft.
No, because that would bite into the O-ring, wouldn't it?
That will score the O-ring and cause immediate leaks. You've got vernier calipers in front of you there, young Beach.
Have I? I do indeed.
If you could set them to 11 mil or pass them over. These are good old school, just classic mechanical ones. Mechanical, analog.
Mechanical.
Because the diagram shows all the way to the end of the thread, but it actually feels like the ball end isn't long enough.
11 mil. There you go, 11 mil.
Thank you there, sir. So
I'll continue with this. So I'm just going to put the 3 mil lock nuts onto all of these.
11 mil is not like the diagram. It's got about 3 threads showing on the shaft, and that is perfect.
Is it?
So it is the end of the thread on the ball end.
Right.
But the picture's showing that it's got no thread there.
Yep.
See, if I had have just kept winding or put pliers on there, I probably would have split that ball cup. So it's important when you're building things not to use too much mechanical advantage. There's nothing on a quality kit that should be really, really tight or difficult.
No, that's right.
And when you get to that point,
I'm just going to grab some tools.
Tools?
Toolage. I'm going to get a 2 mil.
What tools do you need?
2 mil and a 5.5 nut driver.
Are you going to put the shocks on?
I'm putting the shock mounting screws on, the shock towers. Right here. So these are just in the center holes.
11, we've got 2 there. I'm going to start bleeding these shocks.
Yeah?
I'm just going to get the shock stand.
Oh, that was something I was meant to get, wasn't it?
That's okay, I'll forgive you.
Yep. Okay.
I think we need to investigate new studio chairs.
You think so?
Well, it's only a matter of time before I fall off and crash.
Crash. Well, it'll make a good episode before that happens, right? Before we get our new ones.
That's right.
That'll be the the reasoning behind getting some new furniture.
All right, so I've got them here. Oh, they fit the shock stand beautifully, which is nice. And I'm going to use the kit oil.
Yes.
Which in this case
450.
is labelled as 450.
450 CST.
And that is quite thick. Now what I like to do when I do shocks, you've seen it on the RO, is come up probably 2/3 of the way up and then start putting oil in.
Yeah.
And what that does is tries to get some oil bleed through the piston.
Into the bottom of it.
Into the bottom of it. And what this is hopefully going to do now, when I pull it down in one motion, all comes up in one air bubble.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yep.
So now when I put oil in, and it doesn't always work, but it's something that can save you some time. And new shocks always are a little bit harder to bleed than when you're just changing oil at the racetrack. Because that oil at the racetrack, as much as you get out, creates a little bit of seal and again less air trap. So then I'm just going to move it up.
So I saw a bubble come out just before.
Just going to rotate the piston. Do it all very gently because you don't want to break the bubbles up. Because the smaller you break the bubbles up to, the longer it can take to surface. And then just down in one motion. all the way, fully extended. There we go.
So get the oil all the way up the top at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So you're just going to sit it there to
Gonna sit
settle?
it there in the stand and let it settle. Move on with the next one.
I've got my screws on, and this is the point where we could screw on the shocks, but we'll wait. And I think I'll do the bumper now. Might as well move on, eh?
Bumper? You're gonna leave me behind.
Oh, you want me to start? I'll help you doing that.
You're gonna leave me behind.
All right, I'll give you a hand. I'll give you a hand. Give you a hand. All right. So what you're saying? So
11 mil. Did you put it on? Gotta put the ends on.
oh, that's important, isn't it?
Gotta put the ends on,
need
mate.
this.
I've got some parts here to cut off as well. Looks like.
What do you got there? Top caps.
The retaining caps.
Monkeys hats.
No monkeys, no hats. The only monkeys are the ones sitting here. We've got one ferreting over there in the keyboard, but it's very quiet. No? Nothing? Nothing from the back stalls.
No.
It's not going to bite.
No, not at all. All right, so you tighten this up until it just felt tight, right? And then we'll measure it.
And you'll find that it's probably pretty much bang on.
Is it?
Bang on.
All right, so I've got another 1/2 mil.
1/2 mil of grr.
Yeah, because I didn't give it the super power. That's
But you
rolling
can
around a
see,
bit.
you can see if you went and stuck an Allen key in there, because some people do. I try not to use,
What, and force it?
and it bends the cap and splits it
yeah.
open. And quality kits, you really shouldn't need it. So I'm going to go ahead here.
Oh, I just got a touch left. Just being really cautious, eh?
Cautious.
Cautious. There's a 1/4 of a turn. Let's see what that gives us.
I'm going to go ahead and blade this sucker. So
Oh, I think that's pretty good. I like that. All right, so now I know how far I can go.
So this is the first one that I put oil into.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is place the diaphragm or bladder on top of the oil.
Yeah. Did you go in on an angle to push out the air from one side?
Yeah. And then I'm going to sit it down with my little finger here. It's hard to do it because I can't turn it sideways.
So that's forcing in.
Forcing in the bladder. Then I'm going to
Yep, and expelling the excess oil.
I'm going to push the shock down while I've got my little finger on top of the bladder until I can feel the piston touch my little finger. At that point, take my little finger out and put on the shock cap.
Okay.
And again, these really fine
So basically, you don't
threads.
want it pressurized, right?
No, don't want it pressurized.
So once you screw it up, you don't want the shock shaft to come out by itself.
Hopefully not. That's
Right,
called
okay.
rebound. And usually it can take a couple times of bleeding.
Yep.
But that's the initial one. I just do with my finger to make sure everything's seated nicely. Because if you just put the cap down, you can't see. Maybe you've got the lip tucked in of the bladder, or things can go a bit awry because you lose that feeling.
I like rye bread.
Rye bread. Now I'm just going to simply check that shock by pushing it all the way in, removing my thumb, and see it's not coming out.
No, that's perfect.
That's absolutely really good. And there's no air in there. There's no squealing. I'm calling that one
Squealing?
a complete success. You've got this one here. I can go ahead and fill this one up.
Yes. I'm just going to back this off on a touch.
So it's quite a tedious
go, that's
job
good.
doing shocks, but it's quite rewarding. So it's good to just do them. So we can put the adjuster cap on that one,
Just a cap.
and a spring, and a retainer.
So this, they just screw straight on, do they? Let's have a look. Yes, they do. Okay. So just going to make sure the order. So you got your actual protrusions there for the spring to sit onto, so it doesn't rub up against the cylinder. Now I'm doing the reverse.
What?
The reverse rotation, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can feel
Before I screw
click.
it up, because this is really fine.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know that it's. See, this one here
And these are tapered as well.
had a lot of air in it.
So I can't actually feel it at the moment.
All right, now I'll go back to the first one that I filled up. Go ahead here, put my bladder in.
Oh, there we go.
I'm loving this. Did you hear it?
Yep.
I love this blue bladder. Nice and soft.
I'll screw it up.
Hold it in there. My
So
little
we'll
finger.
screw these up
My
all
little
the
pinky
way.
doesn't get to see much action,
Pinky.
except when I'm doing shocks.
All my fingers are pink.
Didn't you have a little pinky?
What, this thing?
That one?
Oh, yeah, they're all the same colour, look. They're all pink.
It's just a reference.
Is it? Oh, sorry. I'm taking it too literally.
I don't know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
I can't keep up.
Can't keep up with me.
Can I please have the tea towel?
This one?
Yeah.
All right, so we don't need that anymore. Let's pop that aside.
The one I'm using is actually grainy, like I've cleaned an off-road car or something with it.
Grainy.
And I don't want,
that.
I don't want that near my shocks or my
No,
grease
not at
or my oil.
All right, I'm going to put on a springage. All these springs are the same, aren't they?
Yes.
All right, so let's put that on and the retainer.
Wow.
There we go.
These are the best plastic shocks I've ever built. I actually wish that the RO...
Oh, I feel that.
I wish that the RO had bladders in them. They use an emulsion shock, which is just a little bit trickier for
to build
newbies
well.
to build well, yeah, to bleed well.
Actually, I need another one of those things.
But bladder shocks.
Hang on, let me grab a thinger and a thinger.
Bladder shocks, to me, in my mind, always build well.
All right, so I just got to push this past that cap. Hear the click. Rotator reverse, and then forward, and we make sure that we don't cross thread. Feel good, don't they? Springage.
I didn't trust my judgment then.
No trust in judgment.
No.
But you can always do it again.
I could feel that it had a big air pocket in it.
Yeah, good. I like it. I like it. All right, we've got two done. Let's have a look over here.
For 450 weight oil, they actually feel really nice, don't they?
I do. I do. Very much so.
And they'll be well matched to the springs. I mean, Team Yokomo have been making cars for what, 40 years? 45 years? They haven't always
I like it.
They haven't
I like
always
it.
made the finest shocks, as we've seen from the earlier models.
But I think it's all pretty refined
And
now.
here is an example of an overfilled shock with rebound. So I take my finger off.
Yep. And it's
And
popped
see it-
out.
see
Oh,
it
that's pretty
popping
extreme,
out?
isn't it?
That's pretty extreme, but that's a good case in point. So then what I do is I compress the shock on the table, crack the top cap, and then I should get some air or excess oil coming out.
I'm cutting open bag 11, so I'm going to move on to bumpers. There's a foam bumper. We'll slide that on later.
Better to have too much oil than air when you're bleeding.
Yep. Because the other way around, you have to refill the oil, don't you?
have to refill
It's
the
basically
oil.
starting from scratch.
Yeah. And letting it settle, because you've usually created a champagne effect or fine bubbles in there.
You lose something?
Yeah, that's a top shock Manning Bush. I got it. Thanks, Jeff. It's all right, Jeff got it.
Yep.
Jeff's having a cup of tea with Nan today.
That's it. Well, we'll have that opportunity a bit later, won't we?
What? Have a cup of tea with Nan?
That's right. All right, so I've got our
Or Jeff.
body pins there. Open that up to get these screws. What's I got here? I've got the upper support for the bumper.
Oh, you're my support. You're my pillar.
Pillar of strength.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh.
I just said support, mate.
I was just hoping. It's not much good, is it? All right, so
Well, hope's really good.
3x8s. Here's our 3x8s. Get two of them. Are they 3x8s? Yes, they are. And I'm going to screw on the front bumper. So I'm jumping ahead a little bit while you're doing that.
Yeah, well, shocks are one of those things that just take a little bit of time. And we may as well get it right first time,
Yeah.
because then we don't have to touch them, hopefully. Because I think this car's going to be dialed out of the box.
Dialed!
Dialed! If not, we'll get to see that epic failure live on social media.
Well, it's going to have its first run in a couple of days.
Gonna have a follow-up video, how to repair a Rookie Speed 1.0.
No, hopefully that doesn't need to occur until later on.
Doesn't matter if it does. It's a race car.
Well, that's it. All right, so here goes a bumper, just 2 screws, quite easy to screw on.
Well, you say that, but
Yeah.
where is my... Here you go. You've got 2 shocks there to screw on.
Oh, can I put them on?
Yeah.
That's very nice, yeah.
I think you.
All right, so I'm going to jump around a bit,
These
am I?
adjusting nuts need a lot of care and patience.
Really?
Did you stress that? That thread is so fine,
It is fine.
isn't it?
All right, so I've got 2
And
body
they
mounts.
don't have an O-ring seal, but they've obviously made them quite a tolerance fit, haven't they? Did you notice that? It was a little bit, I won't call it tight like a tiger, but it's firm, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So that should be fine. So it shouldn't be working their way loose. You know, like some aluminium shocks, if they don't have an O-ring on the adjuster, they can work themselves loose and move about.
Oh, loosey-goosey.
What?
Getting loosey-goosey.
Are you in the mood for some goose?
Turkey'd be nice, but not in the lunchbox.
No?
Double pig, I've been told.
Right. Well, that happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gotta
live.
change it up sometimes.
Here we go.
All right, I'm mounting those, so I always like the holes aligned. What do you call that? Transversely. Perpendicularly?
East-west.
East-west.
East-west, north-south. Not like the Kardashians.
What?
Isn't there a North Kardashian or something?
What do you mean?
A person? I don't know.
What,
I
like,
don't know what I'm talking. I'm not qualified to talk about Kardashians.
did you say North Carolina?
Could be.
I don't know what you're on about. What are you on about? that was awkward, wasn't it?
I know.
That was
I'm
awkward.
lost. I don't know whether you've
Didn't
lost
know what
me
to
or
say.
I've lost you.
All right, so these
Look at
body
that.
mounts
Shock's
is
done.
going to hexes.
That's probably under half an hour of shockage. That'll dampen the mood.
There we go. So they're on.
How long before we screw a motor in this sucker?
Not long at all.
Isn't it?
I've got body mounts on. Okay, so we're doing shocks now, are we?
Yeah, before you want to put the foam bumper bar on,
Yep.
doesn't the... That doesn't come through the foam? Does that come through the foam?
No, I think that you just screw it on and the barbs will hold the foam in place.
Yeah?
Yep. And then we'll put the top on it to hold it all in.
Well, you
Right,
want
let's
to
get shockies,
you want
eh?
to put the shocks on before you put the
Now,
bumper
if
foam on.
you get into... Oh, you found these. Okay, here's the bushings. Shock bushings, is that what you call them?
Yeah, top shock mount bushing.
Did I do something wrong here?
Looks like a short screw.
That's because I've jumped the gun. Because that nut there
goes on
is
that.
the...
Classic BJ. That wouldn't be
There
the
you go.
first thing that you've
you
assembled.
talking
Assemble le backward.
Well, I was in a rush.
Are we going to... Why?
Oh, I don't know.
You were leaving me behind.
I just wanted to continue moving along rather than just sit around and just watch you.
That's okay. Leave it to me. Leave it to Beaver.
Okay, so these bushings go on and then the shock. Shockage.
All 4 shocks are the same. Now I like to put the top mount on first, so I can preset the drag, if you will, of the bush. Now,
So you want to make sure that you don't over tighten these,
yeah,
right?
because they are like a squish fit. So you want it to be, you don't want to have plane there into the shock mount, but
Yep.
you also want it to fall under its own weight,
Yes.
which is exactly what we've
What it's
got.
doing at the moment. There you go.
Because if you just reef on it with the bottom clip in, you can't get a feel for it.
No feel?
No feel. Now I do love these nuts because they do have the ring of confidence on them.
Did you call it?
A ring of confidence, a nylock.
Oh, is that what you mean?
That's Nan, turn your phone off. This guy. Hey?
There you go.
I thought he was a professional.
Hey, me.
Coming into the studio with his phone on full noise.
These feel great. I could squeeze these all day. It's just like that.
You should.
The brush rinser, isn't it? The brush toilet. Just keep pushing the
It's
button
going
and
to come out
rinsing
soon
it
when we
out.
paint the video. When we paint the body, we're going to paint it in the studio.
I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I think it's going to be a quick and dirty. So we're talking about the body? What body are you talking about?
Quick and dirty body. You can't say that, Beach. I'm just snapping the bottom caps on.
Oh, it's on. It's on. Oh, oh.
It's a lot of springage there. Definitely got a lot of spring. I'd go as far as to say that's underdamped, but...
Well, we'll try it. This is going to be out of the boxage.
Out of the box.
Yep, here we go.
540 power, shouldn't be stressing it too much.
All right, we've got the other shocks here.
I'll be stressing.
Since I've got this end,
you've done this one
here.
too. You've done them both.
I did them both. I wasn't mucking around.
I wasn't mucking around. You can do the other end while I'm here. We can do one end at a time.
What end? What are you talking about?
You can do the front end. You can do the bumper mount.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm doing. So
you can have this inferior blue tool.
Yes. Well, the foam's going on.
The foam
gets pushed over these barbs, gets locked into place, and then this should just screw over the top. I'd say that'll be on the next page. What do you got there? What do you need?
My big
shockages. What are these? 3x15s.
My big
so there's these long ones.
Chimp-like arm was in the way of the.
Chimp. What just say?
A big chimp-like arm was in the way of the shock.
I thought you said that. I'm not sure though.
Be sure.
Well, I am now. You've confirmed it.
Do you know back in 2016, this kit would have been so chic.
Chic?
Because it's black. Do you remember when we used to have coloured kits?
Ninja.
You know, they used to be full, like blue anodized this and...
Yeah.
You know? And then there's this trend started. All of a sudden, boom, black.
Stealth. Everything black. Black wires, everything.
And this car here is the epitome because it's all...
Oh, it's got the black screws and everything,
black
hasn't it?
Screws and black
components.
plastics. It's like Batman's RC car. If Batman had an RC car, this would be it, Beach.
Would it?
Gardeny blacker.
Which Batman would we contact? Do we try to contact them
Michael.
all? Michael?
He's the only Batman.
Michael who?
Adam. Michael Keaton.
Oh, is that who you
Adam
meant?
West.
Adam West has gone back a while, isn't it?
That's the only
His
Batman.
car was based on the, what was it again? Was it the Futura?
It was based on the Batmobile.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Freaking
No,
Batmobile.
it was based on a
Don't
concept.
get started.
On a real concept car. You didn't know that?
You know... Yeah,
What?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? I got no idea what you're talking about.
The star of the show was not Batman nor Robin.
The star of the show
Yeah.
was the car?
No.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It was the butler. No. He's the real star. He's the real thing getting it done.
Well, he gets it all sorted, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's the PA.
that's right. The other nonsense were just dressed up. You had to dress up and everything.
Yeah, well,
It's Halloween every day for them.
Well, they have a party.
Go out into the public and make a fool of yourself. All right.
Party mode. What have we done here? Wow. All right.
That's shocking.
All right. Shocks are on. Bumpers on. Wow. Feels all right, doesn't it?
Silky smooth.
It's going to be quick reacting, isn't it?
Can you say that?
Quick reacting.
Where's the rear bumper? You're going to need a rear bumper bar on this.
Yeah, I need as many bumpers as I can get, even Nerf bars.
Does it have rear bumpers?
Let's
Where's
have a
the
look.
hexes?
We're going on to rear body mounts now. I do not see a rear bumper at this stage.
Yeah, it's a race car, mate.
Well, it shouldn't get hit on the back, should it?
No.
Well, while it's leading, it should be way ahead of the pack. All right, so
What
we're
bag?
going to move into...
Bag 12.
Yeah, so you get your battery
Can I
supports
please
here, which
have
is this.
the super sharp 9-step hobby blade, please?
Yeah, of course. There we go. I'm going to continue here, where I'm going to put on the body,
Dongers?
well, spacer washers.
Spacer washers.
They call them body post seesaw.
Body post seesaw. I love
That's it.
that. That's a bit, oh, look.
But you're
it's
gonna
even
do
got
this.
a cute little donger.
Yeah, little
I
antenna.
love it's got a little
And it's all
antenna.
black. That's all black as well. And then you're going to do the battery retainer.
I might have to go see Nan because the battery might need to be fitted at this point.
Really?
Because there'd be a few adjustments. And she's got the 9-steps batteries on her shelf.
Really?
I might see if I can hear Ninja Will out there
Can you?
battling around. Yeah.
All right, what have I got here? Rear body mounts.
You've got a
Rear
bad
body
attitude.
mounts. Who?
I think we should buy the carbon fiber battery retaining system.
Why?
Just to really, like, it's just
What, bling it up a bit?
just completely throw the bling where it costs more than the kit. No?
It is not necessary,
than
but I like the look of it.
Plastic shocks with a carbon fiber battery retention system.
That's it.
Off the BD12.
Why not? Why not?
Nothing wrong with the old plastic fantastics, mate.
No.
R and F.
What do you got
That'd be
there?
for rear and front.
There you go. So you need this to be on an angle to be able to screw it in, right?
What screw?
what do we got here?
Is it 3x8s?
It's got a little battery holder spacer. How does that work?
It's got a what?
These things.
They go under.
So
they
it goes
go
in there.
underneath. We're going to need it because we're going to be putting a round pack in it.
So what do
We're
they
gonna
do?
need these as high as possible.
Does it change the height of it?
No, it just gives it like a nice clamping footprint.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. And you can put nice
Oh.
alloy ones, so it doesn't
right. I
squeeze.
didn't know. Okay. Poke that through first.
Ooh.
All right, there we go.
We might need to go. See, this is why we might need the narrow.
Narrow?
Oh no, it doesn't have a narrow setting. Right. There you go. And it doesn't have a 4.5 setting.
So it's just got a single setting, keep it simple.
Single.
So I guess if we
Keep
need
it
to
simple, silly.
adjust for different battery sizes, we'll just go foam. Yeah?
Well, it does adjust in height. Here you go.
What are we doing? Oh,
The frontage.
yep. So you got to do the pokage.
There's a lot of edges going on, isn't there?
Edge.
Porridge.
Haven't had porridge in ages, actually.
Wow. Why?
I don't know.
What,
I actually quite like porridge.
What have you got against smashed oats?
Nothing. Well, they've been rolled by this big heavy roller, haven't they?
Don't know.
Have you ever had blade cut oats?
I can only say no
Because I didn't realise that oats are actually really, really hard. Because these blade cut ones, they've just been cut up in really small bits. And you still have to soak them overnight. And they still got chew the next day.
Chewbacca?
Unlike rolled oats, which are just
rolled.
rolled and
You
easy
stay
to
right
digest.
here. I'm going to go and get a battery device from Nan.
All right, I'm
Nan!
gonna put these seesaws on.
Nan!
Now the seesaws, we don't really know where the body's going to sit yet, so I guess I'll mount them a bit lower. But at least they'll be on, so we won't lose them. Actually, I've been a bit dodgy here. These have got little dags on them because I just snapped them off. So let's just trim that off. Make it a bit nicer.
She's got him in
I'm going to cut myself here.
She's got him in her favourite dresser, the glass dresser out the front.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to pick up? What's that? Oh,
Wait.
battery.
Oh, nothing like a... Oh, fresh lipo. How good is that?
I thought you were sniffing a Cuban then.
A Cuban lipo.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they're not made in Cuba. I'm not sure. Have to confirm.
Well, it's just a term that's used.
A Cuban lipo.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
All right, so let's put these seesaw ridges on.
Here we go. I think
How is it?
it's small, but it's not hitting the spur gear.
So if anything,
But this is going to get us the height we need.
all right, so we can either,
Probably put the short ones on, I'd say. The ultra low center of gravity ones.
which ones? What are you talking about?
These dungers.
Ah, the height adjuster. So how are we going to make up this so that it doesn't slide outwards? I'm going to put foam in it or something, some sort of spacer.
Yeah, we'll get out the corner weight scales and see how we go, whether we balance it outwards or inwards.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
Confident or competent?
I'm incompetent. I'm confidently incompetent.
At least you know.
What?
At least you know.
I'm my own worst critic, you know that. Harsh.
Harsh.
People
Yes,
say,
you expect a lot from yourself, eh? Is that what you mean?
except emotion.
What?
No emotion for you. That killed the mood.
Didn't it?
I know, what are you
Trying
doing?
to find the small hole here. I've done it.
I've got a trick for that.
Hang on. I'm going to do the front ones too. Let's move those over
You're
here.
ignoring me about the small hole.
Which small hole? There's
What
plenty
about,
here.
about finding it?
How do you do that?
Just look closely.
Oh, I've got these.
That's right. Put them back on. Have a look. This is a battery retaining system worthy of a click-clack.
How's it work? So that slides in.
That slides in like yay.
Yay. Yeah. That's got to go in first. And then that slips over. Oh!
And it's still floating. I could probably put the higher one on there, but it's nice to have a little bit of retention.
Yep. And so we just want to... Oh,
That
it's in,
battery
isn't it,
is not
basically?
flying out. You are not flying that battery out of there.
No, it's not coming out.
Not coming out in a hurry.
It may shift if there's a big whack.
Big shunt.
Hopefully not, but there's a possibility.
If
So
BJ goes shunting, we'll know about it.
well, look at what happened to the truck.
That's right. We won't speak about the poor little truck. It's just recovering. It's in its little Rubik's bag shaking.
Well, it's in the recovery room, isn't it?
It's quivering in the little Rubik's bag.
Yeah, it's had surgery.
It's been violated within an inch of its togetherness.
Wasn't intentional, but then again, I wasn't backing down, was I?
Where was this one mounting?
What's that?
Their little Dunga aerial.
Oh, that'll be over here, won't it?
I would have thought so.
Let's have a look. It says right there. Which is, where is that? That's near the, yeah, it's around here. Is there a hole there?
There's a hole there.
Okay, well that'll be it.
That's the one.
That'll be it.
You can have the Go Fast little aerial in there.
Go fast aerial. What are you
Are you
doing?
still putting 4 clips in?
No, it's all good. I'm done.
There you go.
Do you want me to hold that?
I'll offer this one up.
Which way do you want
Just so it looks cool.
it? I can't see.
It'll probably have to come out again when we put the radio in. Let's be honest.
Oh, hang on. The comedy is. Let's see what happens.
We've got him. We've got ourselves.
We're easily amused.
We've caught ourselves a BJ. Got him. Jammed his finger into Spurgy already.
There we go. Nice little short aerial. That's going to easily fit underneath the body, isn't it? So what we've got now. So we've got some tape, which is a rubber tape here, which we can put on the chassis. Do you want to wipe this down with some alcohol or something before we put it on?
What's that?
Just a chassis here, just remove any oil so that the tape goes on there. The anti-slip tape.
That's for the battery, isn't it?
Yes.
That'd be under the battery.
Oh, it's already there.
No, but it's under the battery.
Oh,
What's the next step?
well,
Wheels.
I'm looking at the wrong end. The next step is the motor.
Motor.
Yep. The wheels would be nice too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, the
We
wheels
always
and
put
hexes.
on the wheels.
Well get the motor in.
Yep.
So where's
Okay, you got the motor here?
The only thing that we won't put in, I think, today is because of time constraints will be the speed controller.
Well, let's take the battery out because we need to access the motor from this end.
Motor. Where did I put said motor?
Well, it's tight, isn't it? There we go. Oh, it is tight. There we go. All right, so the tape's going to go here.
Yep.
And then you've got the motor, which will screw into there. And look at that motor. What a beauty. A Johnson 540, silver can.
So a couple of accessories here.
Oh, okay.
That's a Futaba with a little aerial on it already, a little dunga.
Right.
So
we don't need that.
I'm going to put Futaba radio gear on it.
Okay. So we probably don't need that. We'll take that off. Oh.
Fan mount. That's going to stop the smoke coming out and hopefully stink up the racetrack
Okay.
with 540 burning goodness. Yes? Now the
Is
motor
that gonna-
screws.
This is going to stretch a bit because this is...
It will stretch a bit. Motor screws could be a little concern.
Put that on later, eh?
Yes.
Depending on where you want to align it. All right, so we're going to do the screw.
I think you should put one hole up. I'm more of a one hole up kind of guy.
What do you mean one hole up?
On the motor can.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Making it
Oh, that one?
instead of the... No? Is that what you reckon?
You're pedantic, aren't you?
A little bit.
All right.
I'm a bit
Screw it
emotionally
in.
charged. When I get to this part of the build,
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Now let me take the receiver out. Don't want that flying because anything can happen.
And lightly it will.
All right, so you screwed in the motor now.
Big concern I'm going to have with putting a 540 on this
Yeah.
is the pinion. I'm going to have to put the pinion on now. Now it does have a supplied pinion. So
It does.
Let's try that. Because it's got the spur gear and everything, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the grub screw? Oh, don't tell me.
What do you mean? The grub screw's there? Should be there somewhere.
Well, doesn't mean I haven't lost it. It should be there
It
somewhere.
says grub screw times 1. 3 by 3.
That's awkward.
What do you mean? It might be hiding in a...
A crevice.
There it is.
Where?
Right there, inside. Inside that one.
It's a sneaky little devil, isn't it?
There it is.
I knew they wouldn't let us down. No?
We're going to do a bit of lockage. Or we're just putting that on just to try it out.
Just trying it out at this
Yeah,
stage,
just to space it out.
Don't get too emotional. Just
Not
wanna
that
make
emotional. I'm over it now.
Are you?
Yep.
Well, if we get this part in,
Mm.
I really think that we can get the hexes and the wheels on, and we'll call this one done until we come back for an overview.
Yes.
We'll show the painted body,
Yes.
the radio fitted.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. It's looking pretty good. I am impressed. How's it? Feeling good?
Feels good. I just guessed with the spacing, so I could be wrong. A little bit aggressive there
Aggressive.
with the spacing. Once you do it a couple of times, you'll get to figure it out.
Mm.
Because, to be honest, the car wasn't really engineered to have a 540 silver can in it.
No. But we're just doing it as
So
a,
we're not
as a
even sure
project.
that it's going to be a successful project at this stage, are we? But we're trying. Because if I can't get the pinion mounted that way to clear because the brushless motor has a much longer rotor shaft.
It does.
So you would have the pinion mounted backwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just going to do the gear mesh up.
Okay. And we have it.
I think you can say that that's got a 540 in it.
It's got a 540 in it.
Can I say it's the world's first?
You can?
I'm going to.
Well, it's probably pretty accurate that it would be.
It's been a long time since I've meshed a 48 pitch gear set in a touring car. And I can't believe how easy it was. No?
Yeah,
64
well.
pitch with the small teeth, as nice as it is, can be quite a bugbear.
Well, looking forward to running it like this.
What about the wheels? Stick some wheels on it. Let's make it look like a car.
Give me wheels.
Well, here's the hexes.
Give me wheels. Give me pins.
Here's the hexes.
Give me some pins. All right, so I've got a wheel pins here. Stick them in.
I've got some good second handies.
Second handies will do.
Good second handies.
Okay, so just got to be careful with these hexes because they sit loosely on the pins.
It's good that we've got second handies because it makes it look like a race car. No, it looks like it's already done some work. These are last year's Bendigo Classic tyres.
Are they?
Yeah, good nick too. These are TCR tyres. These are Sweep EXX40s. Phenomenal tyre.
All right, so we're on.
Sweet rubber. Smells sweet, sweet, sweet.
Sweet.
Oh, it's good.
Don't get them too close to me. I might take a bite.
It's like a donut.
All right, so what are we doing? You doing one side and I'm doing the other side, or what?
Oh, I don't mind. You do the front. I'll do the back.
Just got to be careful that we don't drop these hexes out.
Nylox. It's nice to have Nylox.
Locks.
Why have we got a spare motor screw?
Where? We have a spare motor screw because we've only been able to use one screw for the Johnson 540 because brushless motors do have a lot more mounting holes.
Yes.
And that's brought on the trend of touring cars to have a very low mounted engine mount.
Yes.
And so, hence, we only have room to use one screw. So,
But the way that the bush sits on the motor mount,
yes.
I thoroughly think that
So
that will
hopefully
be
there's,
enough.
Yeah, hopefully there's enough surface area that for regular racing, I mean, a big shunt would probably move it.
You love that word. I think we have to
Shunt.
put that in our safety box.
Shunt is like punt.
Is it? Oh, I nearly fell off my chair.
Did you?
Yeah, got that close. Poor Jeff choked on his ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich. All right, that's tight. All right.
Tight like a tiger.
Now, we don't have all the weight on it yet, but it's definitely sitting quite low, isn't it?
It's sitting quite beautifully.
So, I mean, all the fine adjustments we'll be doing later, such as the droop and such. So we've done it roughly to the manual, but you always want to check all these settings after the car's fully built with the tyres you're going to be running.
How cool is that? That
So
is
we
a
have a
roller.
car. We have a car.
We've built it as per the kit, nice and smooth.
That's right. And we'll be putting on the rest of the gear and setting it up and getting it ready for the track in a couple of days.
Going racing
That's it.
with the Team Yokomo RS1.0.
That's right.
And that has been episode 2.
That's right. It didn't take long to build it all.
Didn't take long to build it all, 2
We've got-
hours.
We've got the 540 in there. We'll see how that goes.
All we've got to do is stick the speed controller in it, the receiver,
Receiver.
fit the body,
Yep.
and we'll check back in with you guys and do episode 3.
How good is it? Really impressed.
Fantastic, guys.
That's
Well,
good.
that has been episode 2 of the Team Yokomo RS1.0 build.
Yep.
I'm Brett from Hearns.
I'm BJ.
Thanks for watching. See you next episode.
See you later.